Hi everyone, this is Prashad Parthiban. Today I'm going to take a session on generative AI use cases in invoicing. So most of you know what do you mean by invoicing. Once a policy is issued, it is the responsibility of the billing system to handle the billing process. So when I say billing process, invoicing is the first step in billing process, where insurance company have to create an invoice, send it to the customer so that customer can send the payment back to the insurance company. Now there are certain use cases within invoicing where we can use generative AI to optimize the process. Let's look at it one by one. The first one is down payment calculation. So there will be a concept called payment plan, which means the payment plan will say how many invoices we should have for a customer. Say if I have a customer who says if the premium is $1,000, I need to pay this in 4 installments. So all those configurations will be in the payment plan, and this down payment also will be in the payment plan, like 30% is a down payment, which means if your premium is $100, $30 will be a down payment, remaining 70 will be split across multiple invoices. Now this is a static amount, right? Now there could be customer who has a requirement to pay 50% well in advance. There could be customer who has some financial struggle, he could be willing to pay 10%. If you go by a payment plan for say quarterly, you cannot change it based on customer need. Whereas using generative AI, you can read data about the customer and dynamically based on the customer profile, you can determine, okay, this customer needs 10% down payment, this customer needs 30% down payment. That way you don't need to stick to a static down payment percentage. Similar to down payment, number of installments also, right? Like imagine your payment plan says that there are remaining 6 installments, whereas that particular customer is in some trouble. When I say trouble, they are in financial burden. Now for some reason you wanted to make it like 8 installments or 10 installments dynamically for that particular customer alone. So AI can help you with that. AI can read the data, it can use a model and generate installment plans according to the customer profile instead of having it as a static one. Account level and policy level billing. For those who are new to this, basically account level billing is if I have a company who have policies like workers' compensation or commercial auto with the same insurance company, we will send them only one invoice when you have account level billing for both workers' compensation and commercial auto. Whereas policy level billing, it will be at the policy level, like they will receive one invoice for workers' comp, they will receive another invoice for commercial auto. Imagine you have a customer who is at the policy level billing, but using AI, you could detect that this customer is always having monthly payment plan, which means you are sending the invoice on a monthly basis and they are paying it on the same time, which means the data shows that they are consistent in payment on the same day and also their payment intervals are same. So AI can recommend the insurance companies to reach out to the customer and ask, can we convert this policy level billing to account level billing, right? There are multiple advantages with account level billing. You can avoid a lot of documentations. Instead of sending 2 invoices, you can send 1 invoice. Even for customer, it is easy, right? They can pay 1 payment instead of 2 payments. All those admin works can be avoided. So all those things can be done by AI because they have access to data. Lead time. Most of you know in billing, you will have invoices. They will be in maybe planned status or scheduled status, and we will have lead time. When an invoice is say Jan 1st 2024 is the bill date, you will give lead time as 25 days or 28 days for the customer to pay, and this is also static. Using AI, again, if you have a customer who says or who have made a payment within 5 days, you can make the lead time 10 days, whereas for customers who need more time, you can have more lead time. The goal here is to be very dynamic and also customer centric instead of being static. Responsive versus non-responsive, right? Like the concept here is responsive means you send the invoice and customer make a payment. Non-responsive is more of direct debit, where you go directly to their bank account and pull the money. Using AI, you can say if I have a customer using responsive billing where you send the invoice and they have to make a manual payment. If you notice that in the last 1 year or 2 years, this customer have been making payment regularly on the same day as soon as the invoice is sent. AI can recommend that this customer is a potential customer where he can be converted from responsive to non-responsive, because if he is having the bank account without any late payment, it is best he can go to direct debit, where the insurance company on a particular day can directly go to the bank account and pull the money, right? It's very tedious for somebody to look at it manually, but with the use of AI, you can definitely do this recommendation. Status change, invoice status change, right? Say example, you have a customer who is impacted by a flood and you do not want to charge them for next 2 months, right? So you put those invoices on hold, which means charge hold. Now, when the conditions are becoming normal, you have to release the hold, right? You don't need to do it manually. With the help of AI can determine, like a matter of parametric insurance, right? This particular customer were impacted by flood or some other perils, now it is no more, and release the hold, right? AI can do it automatically instead of doing it manually. Again, there are many more examples, but I just wanted to highlight it, one of them. Invoice modification, right? Most of you know, when an invoice is sent to the customer, there could be scenarios where the amounts are not correct, or sometimes customer can come and say that the total invoice amount is 200. I need to break this into 50-50 because I don't have financial money to pay it on time. So instead of doing it manually, right, AI can look at the data. Yes, this customer is in a financial burden. It doesn't make sense to send, like in commercial lines and all, it's going to be 30K, 20K premium. So let's break this invoice into multiple invoice, or modify the invoice amount. If the invoice amount is 20K, let's make it as $5,000 and split it across. So those modifications can be done automatically by looking the past historical data and determining the future happening. Invoice document, like with all those things being generative or dynamic, we can generate the invoice document automatically. We don't want a system or somebody manually creating the document. AI can read all the data variables dynamically and create a document and send it to the customer. Again, there are many number of use cases, but I just wanted to touch upon those that I have worked on. I hope you like my training videos. If you like my training videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.